What is going on, guys? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video. Alright guys, in today's video we are going to be talking Monday Night Raw. Going to be giving you guys my review of Monday Night Raw. And before we do any of that though, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, make sure you guys comment, all that good stuff, guys. All right, let's get right into it, shall we? All right, so Monday Night Raw kicked off with a 10-bell salute to Hulk Hogan, as you guys know, who passed away last week on Thursday, July 24th. The 10-bell salute was followed by a tribute video package that was narrated by Triple H. And interestingly, there was no TNA footage. I thought that kind of interesting. That there was no TNA footage, because for one WWE, they have a working relationship with TNA, so I thought there would be at least pictures of Hogan, Hogan and Sting together in TNA. I thought there'd be, maybe Hogan and Angle together in TNA. I thought there'd be, pictures of Immortal, the faction that Hogan had when he was in TNA. So, but interestingly, there was no TNA stuff, which I thought very interesting. But so that was really cool that they did that video package. And then we officially kicking off Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso opened the show up, and he said a few words. Then his music hit. Then, just as his music was about to cue up again for a second time, Paul Heyman came out and said he did not come out to be disrespectful. And Paul Heyman started out by saying, even though Jey was in the main event against Bronson Reed, he wanted to talk to his family. Heyman goes on to tell Jey that his whole family has lied to him, from his father Rikishi all the way down to Roman Reigns. And Jey cuts off Paul Heyman and said that he had to go out on his own to see if he could win a singles title. But not only did he win the Intercontinental Championship, but he became the World Heavyweight Champion. And that was something that he had to do for himself to see if he could do it, and he did it. And he was glad he did that. Then we got our first match of the night. It was a mixed tag match of Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, teaming up with AJ Styles, going up against Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day controlled a good portion of this match. Dom got in a cheap shot as Raquel snuck around the other side of the ring and pulled Asuka down off the apron. After some back and forth, AJ hit a phenomenal forearm on Dom for the win. And Dom, at one point, Dominic Mysterio ran around the ring to get out of AJ's way. to avoid AJ Styles. Because, as we know, Dominic does not want anything to do with AJ Styles. He doesn't want a thing to do with AJ. We know that Dominic is obviously scared of AJ. And that's the whole premise. Dominic doesn't want to fight him because he knows he's going to lose the title at SummerSlam. And then we had Jackie Redmond backstage talking to Sheamus about his match last week against Rusev. And in the middle of that interview, Grayson Waller walks up with the New Day behind him and pretty much stepped up to Sheamus, pretty much stepped to him and challenged him to a match. And Sheamus agreed that they would have a banger. And this match was okay. I mean, Waller, Grayson Waller is a good wrestler, but in my opinion, he was just overmatched. But the whole point of the match was for Rusev to come down and interfere, so it wasn't going to be a long match. They had to make time for Rusev to come in and do his thing, come in and interfere. So, after a couple of little bit back and forth, after a couple of good spots like Waller hitting a tornado DDT on the apron, and a few other things, Sheamus and a few other moves, Sheamus hits a kneecap and followed by a brogue kick for the win. Post-match, Rusev jumps Sheamus from behind, nails him with the shillelagh, and puts him in the acolyte, which brings out multiple referees to the ring to break up to pull Rusev off of Sheamus. And Sheamus and Rusev just kind of stare each other down as Rusev's walking back up the ramp. Then we had Kathy Kelly backstage talking with Naomi before her 8-woman tag match. Naomi said how she's going to win the match tonight, and at SummerSlam she's also going to win. And Io Sky and Rhea Ripley and the rest of the women's division had better proceed with caution, because Naomi is not the normal Naomi that she used to be. She's not the normal Naomi that everybody cheered for and all this and everything. But I want to park here for a minute, because this supposed heel turn for Naomi isn't working. If you watch Naomi, every time her music hits, she gets the biggest pop every time her music hits. And they're trying to make her heel. I get it, but it's just not working. It's just not working. In the similar vein, the John Cena heel turn is not working. Is not working at all. It worked for a little bit, but now Cena's starting to get cheered. He's getting more cheers. Cody's getting more boos. there's more of a mix of boos and cheers in there for Cody than there are pure cheers. Cena's getting more of the pure solid cheers versus Cody, and so same thing's happening to Naomi. Naomi's getting mostly cheered here, and so this heel turn was not. I don't think it was well conceived, in my opinion. I don't think it was a well conceived idea to turn Naomi heel, and I just don't think it was a well conceived idea. It was, well, let's see how this works, and it's just not working. And then after that, we got a nice little video package, tribute package from some of the WWE superstars: Logan Paul, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jimmy Hart, AJ Styles, Natalya, Jey Uso, The Miz, and Cody Rhodes, all paying tribute to the late Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. Now, I was watching another YouTube channel, and some of the other YouTube wrestling channels are saying, or if you watch Cody's a little more cautious in what he says, as far as who Hulk Hogan was, and focused more on his in-ring versus his outside the ring. But so I thought that was kind of interesting. That Cody was a little more cautious with what he said. He kind of chose his words a little more carefully, which I thought was kind of interesting. But maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I just thought it was really interesting. And also too, I forgot to mention, I just remembered it. If you guys watch the video package in the beginning, Vince McMahon is in the video package, interestingly, and in the last, since Vince McMahon has not been part of the WWE for quite a while now, they've not made any reference to him, and this was the first reference they made to him. I don't know. I heard one wrestling YouTube channel say maybe they were trying to see how people would react to Vince being on the screen. And kind of just seeing how, if Vince is on the screen, how people would react. But that was kind of interesting. Then after that, we got Michael Cole. Michael Cole said that, which I thought this is really cool, all the proceeds of the Hulk Hogan Legacy Collection is going to be going to his family. So I think that's a really nice gesture for the WWE. I thought that's really awesome that the WWE is doing that, to help out the Balea or Hogan family. I thought that was really cool. That was really awesome. Then Paul Heyman is backstage with Bronson Reed, and Heyman told Bronson Reed that he'd heard from Jey Uso's family, and that with Seth Rollins out for an extended period of time, they're saying that they're just a group without a leader. Then Braun Breaker walks up and tells Reed to he tells Bronson Reed to take out Jey. Reed said that he's going to leave Jey Uso and any member of his family down, out, and tsunami'd. Braun told Heyman that he had a plan which Heyman seemed to really like. Now, this is interesting because with Seth being out, it begs the question, is Braun Breaker the new leader or the de facto leader of this group? Interesting. It begs the question. Just throwing it out there. It's interesting. Then we got and then Lyra Valkyria came out to address her match at SummerSlam with Becky Lynch, and as Lyra was talking up her match with Becky this weekend, Becky tried to sneak up on Lyra, but Lyra had it scouted. Lyra grabbed the kendo stick that Becky had in her hand and beat her with it instead. Becky rolled Lyra back in the ring. Becky caught the kendo stick and hit Lyra right in the gut, right in the stomach. Lyra attempted to Nightwing. Becky got out of it and rolled out of the ring. As she was walking back up the aisle, she had a few more choice words for Lyra. And after that, Michael Cole mentions his conversation with Becky Lynch that's going to air on SummerSlam, on the SummerSlam pre-show. And then Corey Graves said he also had an interview. And it was with Sami Zayn before his match at SummerSlam with Karrion Kross. And as the interview was going on, Kross walks in, walks up, takes over the interview. Basically tells Sami that Sami's a liar. Sami's, everybody in the locker room knows the truth, that Sami is not who Sami says he is. And at SummerSlam, Kross is going to make Sami say that Kross was telling the truth. Sami comes back and retorts that Kross is crazy. And it's going to be Kross at SummerSlam. And he is going to have to say that Kross is going to have to say that he was lying and that Sami was right. Then we got the 8-woman tag match, Naomi, Chelsea Green, and her secret Hervis going up against Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Nikki Bella. And the heels controlled the match, but it didn't take long for Rhea and her team to regain control. I forgot to mention Stephanie Vaquer and of course Stephanie Vaquer was in this group as well as part of this 8-woman tag. She was teaming with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Nikki Bella. And you have, I thought this was cool. Somebody said yesterday on one of the wrestling channels. You have Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Bella, Stephanie, 4 of the alpha females of the women's division. all teaming together, which was pretty amazing. But in short, Stephanie Vaquer hit the SVB to pick up the win for her team. Next, we got the LWO, who won their match last week to become the number one contenders for the Judgment Day's tag team titles. So they took on the Judgment Day for said tag team titles. But before the match, Judgment Day was back in their clubhouse, and Finn, he's hyping up the rest of the faction, and saying that they've got all the gold. They, since they've taken out Priest and they've taken, Rhea out of the group, they're dominant once again. They have all the gold, and okay. Then we got the tag team match of and Judgment Day pick up the win. But during the match, so El Grande Americano makes his presence known, and the El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser makes his presence known, walks down to the ring, gets involved. He gets taken out, and then another El Grande Americano, this time wearing a jogging suit. Very interesting. And this El Grande Americano looked very much like Pete Dunne. Very much like Pete Dunne. And what are you doing, WWE? What are you doing with Pete Dunne? What are you doing with this man? This man is so good. He was your NXT UK champion. What are we doing with Mr. Pete Dunne? What are we doing here, WWE? What are we doing with this man? Why is he in an El Grande Americano mask? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But okay, fine, whatever. But you need to do something with this guy. You need to do something. Not put him as an El Grande Americano. But anyway. So we got that. Then after that, we had Gunther make his way out to the ring. And as Gunther made his way to the ring to talk about his match against CM Punk at on SummerSlam Saturday. And Gunther is just bashing Punk, saying how Punk is not the greatest in the best in the world, how he is, Punk's music hits, Punk comes out, and he begins to list off all the reasons why he doesn't just want the world title. He needs the world title. It's his addiction because, Punk, as you guys know, Punk doesn't do drugs. Punk doesn't smoke. Punk doesn't drink alcohol. He's he's straight edge. He doesn't do any of that. So his addiction, he said his addiction is that world title. Now, I personally think he should be going after Cena's title, not this secondary title on Raw, but hey, okay. But he talked about his reasons why he needs this title, and he needs this title win from Gunther And Punk goes on to say he would show Gunther exactly why he's the best in the world. And I thought this line was great. He said, I'm going to show you why I'm the best in the world because my name is C. And he just holds up the microphone, lets the crowd, Punk. And then he flips the mic and throws the mic right at Gunther, walks off. I thought that was great. Now, I don't understand why. Again, why is Punk going for this basically secondary title? The only thing that I can figure, and I could be totally wrong on this, but the only thing that I can figure is that Seth is going to cash in on John Cena. Seth is going to go for the world title. He's not the Undisputed Championship. He's not going to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to go for the Undisputed title. I could be completely off base on that. I could be completely wrong. He may be waiting. Once CM Punk beats Gunther, he may go after CM Punk and take the title from Punk. I could be completely off on that. I could be completely wrong, but you never know. I don't know. I don't know here. I don't know what is going on with. I don't know what's going on with Seth. What this injury is. If it's legit. If it's a swerve. If he's gonna cash in night 2. And we're gonna have a repeat of the greatest heist in WWE from WrestleMania. If we're gonna try and recreate that, I don't know. I personally, on the Seth Rollins thing, on the Seth Rollins injury, I personally think that this is my thought. This is what I think. I think Seth is going to be at SummerSlam. I think this might be a work, this injury angle. But I won't be surprised if he's not at SummerSlam. If they don't do the cash in at SummerSlam, I won't be surprised if they don't do the cash in at SummerSlam. But then again, I won't be surprised if they do. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens there. But then we got our main event of the night. We got Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. And you could tell as the match went on, this was not going to be a clean finish, obviously, because Bronson Reed had said earlier in the night, that he wanted to destroy Jey Uso and any member of his family. He was going to put them down, out, and they were going to be down, out, and tsunami'd. And so, I would say probably about 5 minutes into the match, Braun Breaker comes running down, Spears gets in the ring, causes the DQ. Roman's music hits. Roman comes running down. And both him and Jay take out Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. and then Roman and Jay are outside the ring, and as they're outside the ring, Breaker runs around the ring and spears both Roman and Jay through the barricade, leaves them laying, and then Bronson comes over, and for whatever reason, grabs, unties Roman's Jordans, takes off Roman's Jordans. Or no, before that, pulls Roman back in the ring. That's right. Jay gets pounced from the apron. Jay's on the ground. Jay gets pounced by Breaker from the apron through the announce table. Then Jay gets tsunami'd. Roman then gets tsunami. Roman and Jay are outside the ring recovering. Braun Breaker runs around the ring, spears both of them through the barricade. Takes Roman's shoes. I believe they throw Roman and Jay both back in the ring. Roman gets tsunami'd one more time. Or no, Roman and Jay get tsunami'd, sorry. And they're outside the ring. Braun Breaker spears both of them. And before that, Jay and Roman are laying on the ground, laying on the floor, laying on the ring mat. Braun's trash talking him, saying that this is his yard now. He's the big dog in the yard, and he's the leader of this. He's the leader now, and Roman and Jay get speared through the barricade. Bronson comes over, takes off Roman's Jordans, holds him up Bronson, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman with the briefcase, with the Money in the Bank briefcase, get in the middle of the ring, standing tall, and Bronson Reed's holding up Roman Reigns' Jordans. And that's how Raw went off the air. Now, like I said, this was an okay episode of Raw. I mean, it was all right. I mean, it was nothing crazy. It was not a crazy episode of Monday Night Raw. It was the go home episode before SummerSlam on this weekend. And I personally thought that it should have been more, that there should have been more substance to it. That there should have been more meat to it. There should have been more meat on the bone, if you will. And there wasn't. It was a lot of backstage segments. It was a lot of promos, a few matches. You know, it wasn't. To me, it wasn't what a go home episode should have been. I feel that there should have been a lot more substance to it. I felt that there should have been a lot more depth to Raw on Monday. I thought that I guess the story's kind of progressed, but again, I thought that there should have been a lot more. Again, I thought there should have been a lot more substance to it. And it just didn't seem like there was a lot of substance to Raw on Monday. It just storylines, progressed. Yeah, storylines got furthered. Great, awesome, wonderful. But I don't think it didn't hit like it should have hit. With the go home episode. I mean, now Raw was great. Raw was good. Raw was good. I've seen better. Because right now SmackDown has the better, in my opinion, SmackDown has the better product, has the better show. At least in some ways. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on the whole thing. Let me know what you guys thought. Also, let me know what you guys thought about the tribute to Hulk Hogan. The video tribute. Also, let me know what you guys thought of the whole episode of Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like. And maybe even how you would have made it a little bit better. How you would have made Monday Night Raw a little bit better. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. But that is my review of Monday Night Raw, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. And remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life, bruh.